Hello, welcome back everyone to our channel, the AI Forensicator. Today's episode 4, and we are studying about MSHTA binary, living of the land binary, and let's see how it is and what it can do. So, agenda as usual, to first know what is MSHTA, what is normal in it, what is abnormal, and today it's something surprise in high fidelity detections. Let's go ahead. The normal. So we have HTA file. HTA file is nothing but a script kind of thing. You can write JavaScripts or you can write VB scripts in it and it can run directly on your machine. Now the advantage or how it is different from a normal JavaScript in a way that when a web application is run, it will be run on your browser and it does not have access to your files and registries directly. However, HTA file has that access to your local files and your registry items as well. So that makes it different and it's mostly used by the admins. That's why it is signed by Microsoft and it is legitimate, but it can be misused. So let's see how the abnormal looks like. Before that, let's have a quick example of how the legitimate or normal behavior looks like. So I have a few files with me. So a health check. For a health check, say your help desk has created one utility. When you run your health check, it checks your device and gives what things are running fine, what are not. So such VB scripts can be generated. Likewise, I'll show you another which troubleshoots the printer. So there are different options given. Restart spooler, it restarts. Likewise, the action items are provided. Next is, like I mentioned, if you want to install any of the applications, install Zoom. I have not changed the background code, so it's doing the same what we have seen in previous troubleshoot, printer troubleshoot. But the button works if you give the logic behind it. And if you want different tools, you can install using this. Admins make use of this HT application. Next, like I mentioned, it gives access to your local files as well as registry. Now, in this case, this HTA file is checking your registry. What is the version of your Windows? So if you click, it fetches from the registry, this one. I'll show you the code so that you understand what is actually happening. Let's have a quick look at how the things work. So in printer troubleshoot, which is this file, the code behind is this. Whereas if you come down here, there are we had seen 4 buttons for restart spooler, clear queue, test printer, and status, printer status. Okay. So everyone calls a respective functions. So restart calls restart and clear queue calls clear, test. The definitions are which the functions are written here. Restart means I'm just writing restarting. Okay. So likewise, those functions, respective functions will be called. And instead of this function, there will be a function to actually restart the spooler, but I didn't want it to show much into it and keep it simple. So this is the printer troubleshooting. Likewise, in Software Center, if you want to install Zoom, you can run a Zoom function which internally calls the particular version of Zoom which is stable and which is allowed in a corporate environment. That's why we can keep it stable. And lastly, the registry check that I told, if you can see the object item is reading the registry value of product name, which is nothing but Windows operating system product version. So it had shown us Windows 11. So that's how it makes access to the registry keys as well as to the local file system. Now, how this can be misused. Let's get back to our slide. Say, suppose there is a MSHTA, we can make a run, we can run this HTA file, which we have seen earlier, in a very simple way. But when it is a click fix kind of activity, it will make us run some evil HTA from a remote location, which might have which might get access to your local files as well as to the registry keys. So that's how it becomes malicious. So again, this is for educational purposes. Don't make misuse of it. But yeah, this is how it can be. Um, misused by the threat actors. Now today's video, I have focused more on how to make a really good high fidelity detection out of all of the things that we have learned in last three videos based on different living of the land binaries. Let me quickly try to explain you all of this. Now we are well versed with sysmon and event 1, which stands for process creation, and event 3, which stands for network communications or connections. Now if you see, it's trying to just look for sysmon logs where the process that is doing this activity is MSHTA.exe. It's either creating or it's making network connections. Now going further, these were the different parts that we had seen in top 10 detections. I have clubbed it all in one just to show how actually good detections work. So in that eval office parent, so if a parent is office, that is one of these, then make the score as, make it 1, okay? Otherwise it counts as a 0. If the browser parent, if there is Chrome, MSH or Firefox as the parent of this, then make it 1. Likewise, if the command line contains HTTP, that is remote, then make it 1. JavaScript or VBScript in it, make it 1. If MSHT is followed by JavaScript or VBScript, he's obviously trying to run some script. So that's a suspicious activity. So make it 1. Likewise, if it is being run from downloads, desktop or temp, which are writable parts of the directory, make it 1. And likewise, so if we make such kind of eval statements in Splunk SPL, we can finally agree to come to a eval risk score where it checks if the office parent matches, then make it score 30. So 1 into 30 becomes 30 plus the other one becomes 20 if there is a browser parent. If not, it becomes 0. So 0 into 20 becomes 20. Finally, the risk score is being calculated based on which all hits are seen in these eval functions. And once we have an eval risk score value, if that score is above 70, then trigger a SAN alert. This is a very high fidelity alert that I wanted to talk from last three videos, but today, since we are well versed and we have seen these very often now, like the MSHTA originating from Office and all these things, browsers, so we can now club all of them and make a high risk, high fidelity detection, which can give us a real true positive and exclude out all the false positives and give a less scope for tuning and all other things. So do let me know how you felt about the today's composite detection and very high fidelity based on the risk score. Have a great day. Thank you for joining.